Hi, this is my my 2 cents in the conversation about the untimely uh, death of DMX, who is an American rapper, movie star. He has impacted a lot of millions of people's lives through his deeds, through his story, through his lyrics, through his performance. And including me in that, he has been someone who has brought to the big screen or the world stage the story, I feel, of my uncle who I've witnessed live out some of the same similar challenges in his life. And DMX for me kind of made me aware of people who have this drug addiction and the challenges they go through. And then I can try and then say, oh, this is why my uncle behaves that way or acts that way, whom I've never seen do any of these drugs, but by circumstances and situations and the context, you see the behaviors and the troubles of the cycle that he had experienced and going to jail and using drugs, having many women. And so I've kind of just very far away have kind of witnessed it happen to one of my biological uncles who in my childhood, I admired and I looked up to and I would appreciate it as a person. And he impacted my life in a positive way, more so than in a negative way. And I did in the past try to intervene and help how I can, where I can. He intervened in my life and helped me where I could because my father was an absent. He was one who abandoned me. So I was a daddyless daughter, like Iyanla Vanzant would say. And he was someone who kind of I looked up to he's my uncle, but maybe the male influence that was in my life. One of them. I had others, fortunately. My mom dated an attorney when I was a child, John. And John Wooden, I guess I could say his name, who has long since passed. He had his own practice and was very level-headed and person who influenced me also, fortunately, in many positive ways. And I could feel the effects of those things in my own life and how I have been able to navigate the world. And so I can only hope and pray for the children. DMX, I understand, left 15 children in this world that he created by his DNA that we know of. And I just think that he was such a big personality and that he was definitely changed the way his genetics would go in the world because he was the kind of like the founding father of his family, the patriarch in a way. If he was a boy child who came from without parents of his own, and then he created 15 children and left a legacy that is monstrous and notorious and estate, I'm sure, and things of that nature, so that the poverty cycle has been somewhat changed or broken in his bloodline, direct immediate bloodline, because I believe we are all family, one human family under the sun. So for the absence of my father, what I sought out to do as ways of coping and managing is to I created a name for myself because my father is a black man, which is probably obvious to my skin complexion. My mother's a mulatto woman. And so I didn't really, I became Afrocentric in my way of dealing with my genetics that my father passed on to me. And come to understand myself as that. And so that was my coping skills. I didn't really go to drugs or alcohol to fill the void of an absentee father. Not to say that I've never had a drink before, but and I'm not no goody two shoe. I'm sure, but I just am deeply impacted and moved by the story like everybody else, because I'm seeing and hearing about it, on television and in the news, and it just, I remember when I heard that he was in a coma. This brother who was had such his life was just in the spotlight. He's a human being, but he was just so well known and popular, like all of the other celebrities and politicians are oftentimes. So they're human people having a human experience, but their lives is put under a microscope and for everyone to see and speak of. And so I just know when I heard of him being in a coma for a long time, I took about half a day and I offered my essence to his spirit, in that I didn't do anything. I just stood still because I believe the angels were conferring. And it's I would like to believe that he was such a soldier in the army of the Lord. And as he would say some powerful prayers and speak about God, and he rebuked all the people who would stand in judgment constantly. And I know how that feels when the only things that could come out of somebody's mouth is judgment, is harshness, is negative, for you being who you are and not knowing or giving any value to how you became who you are, or trying to understand, which the Bible says, seek ye first to understand, then to be understood. So I just figured the angels were in conference, about his life story. And so I want to believe that he's with the archangel Michael, and he's a warrior. He was a warrior on earth, because what is done on earth is done in heaven. And so he's probably a warrior in heaven with his wings fighting alongside the archangel Michael. And yes, I do believe that there's the world beyond this world that we see and know and navigate. And so I'm at peace with that belief and that thought. I hear and see a lot of the other celebrities are speaking out, like Swiss Beats and Roxanne Shante, who I remember. I'd love to hear Roxanne, or when Roxanne Shante came out with that battle against Roxanne with UTFO. That song tickled me so. I got a lot of joy out of that song too. I'm the real. So, but I call myself Assata Windchaser Camera. That is the street name, or the non-governmental identity name that I would like to be known as in a public figure setting. If like millions of people were to know who I am, just call me Assata, because it's a kind of a self-description that I gave to myself. And so prayers up for the family, close family and friends of that brother. Earl Simmons, I believe his name is. I know his stage name is DMX. And, so all of us have a soul and a spirit that is someday will too meet the same transition, the final transition. I just believe for some reason he was put in that coma for that long, and for a reason. And I think for people to pause and take time out, for maybe the angels in heaven to pause and take time out and consider, And so, God bless everyone. Peace.